Last week, the Chinese tech company DeepSeek made waves in the artificial intelligence, delivering a seismic blow to industry leaders like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic. With the launch of their open-source AI model, R1, DeepSeek didn't just disrupt the market. They fundamentally altered the long-standing assumptions about what it takes to build and scale state-of-the-art AI systems. The traditional narrative about AI requiring billions of dollars in investment, massive GPU clusters, and proprietary technology was torn down. DeepSeek's R1 has raised the stakes in a game that was once dominated by the likes of OpenAI and Google, forcing the AI industry to reconsider its future trajectory. With R1's debut, it's clear that the landscape is shifting rapidly. DeepSeek R1 isn't just another AI model. It's a monumental leap forward that might very well be the catalyst for a tectonic shift in the AI world. When compared to OpenAI's flagship GPT-4 Omni, which costs a hefty $200, R1 not only matches its performance but surpasses it in crucial areas like reasoning benchmarks. But the shock doesn't stop there. In tests that measure cognitive functions like reasoning, decision-making, and contextual understanding, R1 has outperformed Claude Sonnet and Gemini, two of the most powerful models built by competitors. This puts into question whether OpenAI, once the uncontested leader in AI, will continue to maintain its monopoly over cutting-edge artificial intelligence. In particular, R1 shines in areas of mathematical reasoning, a domain where OpenAI has historically held an edge. This was partly due to the proprietary datasets and vast computational resources OpenAI has traditionally been able to leverage. However, DeepSeek's R1 is able to match or even outperform OpenAI's model in this domain, despite not having access to the same vast, exclusive datasets. This is a critical development, as it suggests that AI models, which were once believed to require enormous financial backing and proprietary information to excel, can now be developed using relatively accessible resources. The fact that R1's creators have been able to do this challenges the very assumptions that have underpinned the AI race for years. While AI enthusiasts and developers across the world are raving about R1's performance, it's important to note that the model is not without its flaws. Its Achilles heel, for example, lies in its inability to provide accurate information on historical events that occurred after April 15, 1989. This limitation, while not insignificant, does little to dampen the overall impact that R1 has had on the AI landscape. The sheer fact that a model with such extraordinary capabilities can be developed with limited resources and made widely available is a game-changer that could forever alter the way AI is perceived and developed. It didn't take long for DeepSeek R1 to catch fire. Within just a few days of its release, the model went viral, quickly becoming the most downloaded AI application in the United States. This wasn't a flash-in-the-pan trend. It was a tectonic shift in how people view artificial intelligence. For years, the narrative surrounding cutting-edge AI has been one of exclusivity, that building such models requires vast amounts of capital, access to elite computational resources, and proprietary technology that only a handful of companies, like OpenAI and Google, could afford. DeepSeek shattered this illusion, demonstrating that it is possible to build powerful, open-source AI models at a fraction of the cost, with a development budget of less than $10 million. R1 was built as a side project by a hedge fund that focused on creating long-term social value rather than seeking immediate profits. This approach stands in stark contrast to the traditional Silicon Valley model, which revolves around keeping the cost of AI development high and its accessibility limited to a select few. For big tech, whose business model relies on the exclusivity and high cost of AI, DeepSeek's R1 represents a nightmare scenario. It's no longer a given that AI development is expensive and centralized. DeepSeek has shown that such models can be developed at a fraction of the cost and made available to anyone with access to a personal computer. For the larger players in the AI space, R1's success is a terrifying development. If powerful open-source models like R1 can be run on consumer-grade hardware, the financial justification for high-cost, proprietary AI services becomes much harder to defend. The very foundation of the business models used by giants like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic could be under threat. The fear is that this could lead to the rapid democratization of AI, where the technology is no longer confined to a few monopolistic companies but becomes widely available to developers and end users alike. The reverberations of DeepSeek's R1 debut were felt not just in the tech industry but also in the financial markets. The news sent shockwaves through Wall Street, causing widespread panic among investors who had backed the companies that had benefited most from the AI boom. NVIDIA, which has dominated the AI hardware market for the past decade, was among the hardest hit. The company's stock price plunged as investors realized that DeepSeek's R1 might signal the bursting of the AI bubble. Over $1 trillion in market value was wiped out, with other chipmakers like Taiwan Semiconductor and Broadcom also suffering significant losses. NVIDIA had built its fortunes on the assumption that the AI race would require cutting-edge hardware like its high-performance GPUs. Its ecosystem, particularly its CUDA platform, had been the bedrock of AI development, and its GPUs were seen as indispensable for any meaningful work in artificial intelligence. The company's near monopoly on AI hardware was thought to be unassailable. However, DeepSeek's R1 model has now challenged that assumption, as it runs efficiently on consumer-grade hardware, systems that are far less expensive than the high-end GPUs that NVIDIA has relied on for its profits. One particularly striking demonstration of R1's flexibility was when it was successfully run on Apple's M2 Ultra chip, a consumer-grade processor. If the performance gains seen in this instance can be replicated on a larger scale, it could have profound implications for the need for specialized AI hardware. This revelation sends a chilling message to companies like NVIDIA, whose entire business model is based on the assumption that AI development will always require massive, centralized computing infrastructure. With models like R1 proving that it's possible to run high-performance AI on commodity hardware, it's unclear how companies like NVIDIA will continue to justify the high prices for AI services and hardware. For investors in the AI space, this represents a nightmarish scenario. If open-source AI models as powerful as R1 can be operated on relatively cheap consumer hardware, the entire financial calculus that has driven the AI boom could be upended. Companies that have relied on the high cost of AI services and proprietary hardware could soon find themselves in a race to adapt to a rapidly changing landscape. As the barrier to entry for AI development falls, it's unclear how established players will maintain their grip on dominance in the market. As the news of DeepSeek, R1's success spread, OpenAI found itself scrambling to regain control of the narrative. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, took to Twitter to offer a cryptic response to the situation. His tweet, "A revolution can neither be made nor stopped. The only thing that can be done is for one of several of its children to give it direction," seemed more desperate than philosophical. The message was quickly met with mockery online, with one user commenting, "It's not that deep, bro. Just release a better model." In the face of mounting pressure, OpenAI took immediate action to respond. One of the first moves was to offer the mini version of GPT-4 Omni for free to all users. This, in theory, would entice users back into OpenAI's ecosystem by offering them a taste of the company's flagship AI model at no cost. However, many critics saw this move as a reactionary measure that lacked strategic foresight. It seemed clear that OpenAI was struggling to respond to the unexpected competition posed by DeepSeek's R1. Additionally, OpenAI introduced a new feature called Operator, which grants AI models direct access to web browsers, allowing them to interact with websites, click on buttons, and even fill out forms autonomously. While this functionality has the potential to change the way AI models interact with the web, it's currently locked behind a $200 per month paywall, effectively making it inaccessible to most users. For many, this move was seen as a cynical attempt to maintain exclusivity, further alienating the average consumer from OpenAI's products. DeepSeek's success is part of a much larger trend that's emerging in the global AI landscape: China's aggressive push for AI dominance. While Western companies like OpenAI and Google have been embroiled in debates over regulations, ethical constraints, and the centralization of power in a few elite firms, China has been moving full steam ahead in its AI ambitions. In addition to R1, another groundbreaking development from China's AI scene is the release of Hunyuan 3D, a model capable of generating highly detailed 3D meshes and textures. For those familiar with 3D modeling software like Blender, this is a game-changing leap forward that could redefine industries ranging from video games to architecture. China's advancements in AI are not occurring in a vacuum. The country has been investing heavily in AI research for years, often prioritizing open-source development over proprietary technology. If this trend continues, it's not unthinkable to imagine a future where the most advanced AI models aren't developed in Silicon Valley but in cities like Beijing and Shanghai. China's ambitious AI agenda, fueled by heavy investments and a commitment to pushing the boundaries of technology, could soon see the country emerge as the leader in the AI arms race. DeepSeek R1's launch is being compared to the Sputnik moment of artificial intelligence. In 1957, the Soviet Union's launch of the Sputnik satellite caught the United States by surprise, sparking the space race and changing the course of history. Similarly, China's rapid advancements in AI have caught the West off guard, forcing an urgent reevaluation of strategy. Just as the US responded to Sputnik by landing a man on the moon, the West now faces the challenge of responding to China's growing dominance in the field of AI. The questions on everyone's mind are: how will the West respond to this AI revolution? What steps will be taken to counter China's dominance in this rapidly evolving field? And, most importantly, how will big tech companies like OpenAI and Google adapt to a world where the monopoly on cutting-edge AI no longer resides solely in the West? As we look ahead to the future of artificial intelligence, it's clear that we are entering a new phase of technological evolution. While the centralized models of AI that we've become familiar with may lose some of their luster, new frontiers are emerging. Technologies like brain chips, quantum computing, nanorobotics, and digital resurrection are all on the horizon, each holding the potential to completely redefine our world and reshape how we interact with technology. For now, however, one thing is certain: DeepSeek R1 has forever altered the trajectory of artificial intelligence. The future of AI is now open source, decentralized, and more accessible than ever before. Whether big tech can adapt to this new world, or whether they will be left behind, remains to be seen. One thing is for sure, though: the AI revolution is far from over. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.